Good day, learners. Our topic is technical and operational definitions. This lesson will help you develop your critical thinking skills and literacy skills. And this lesson will help you write effective technical definitions and as well as interpret operational definitions. So this module is divided into two. First one is the technical definitions, then the next one is the operational definitions. And after going through this lesson, you are expected to give the meaning and purpose of technical and operational definitions in research. Next, interpret technical and operational definitions. And lastly, identify the difference between technical and operational definitions. But before that, let's have first an activity wherein I will show you picture and you are going to define the indicated terms for each illustration. So are you now ready? Okay, let's start. Give the term or terms to define the picture. The answer would be clock or time. And this is the next picture. And here we have heart or love. And for the last picture, we have and it's for bird or freedom. So how was your score? Did you get a perfect score? All right, so if that's so, good job, learners. Now we can start with our topic. Research is a systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish the facts and reach new conclusions. With this, technical and operational definitions have a big contribution to help researchers in conducting their studies. And for the start, let's have the technical definitions, which mean a technical definition states or describes exactly the nature, scope, or meaning of something. So it focuses on the meaning of the term that is being defined. So after knowing the definition or the meaning of the technical definition, we have here the guidelines for writing the technical definitions. This will help us or you as a learner in order to effectively write a technical definitions in writing your research. First guideline is be accurate or use precise terms. When we say precise, exact, or direct to the point. So we have the weak definition here as an example. For example, the word that is being defined or the term that is being defined is data. So the weak definition could be data is an information in digital form that can be transmitted or processed. So there's no enough definition for the technical term data here. And let's have the accurate and precise definition according to the first guideline. So this is it. Data are the quantities, characters, or symbols on which operations are performed by a computer being stored and transmitted in the form of electrical signals and recorded on magnetic, optical, or mechanical recording media. So as you can see, the second definition here, which has the accurate and precise definition, could be the best one to use in writing your research. Second guideline, be objective, use facts, not opinions. So when we say opinion, it is based in your own stand or your own thoughts about the term that is being defined, which is we should avoid that, or it's a big no-no in writing the research paper. What we should do is to be factual or using factual definition. When we say factual, it is based on facts or it has reliable sources or it has evidence. So example of an opinionated definition that we should avoid is, for example, the term that is being defined is questionnaire. So an opinionated definition could be a questionnaire is not valid and reliable for the study. So as you can see, this is not an objective type of definition since it is based on an opinion of someone. So for factual definition for the term questionnaire, we have a questionnaire is a set of printed or written questions with a choice of answers devised for the purpose of a survey or statistical study. So in writing the technical definition or providing technical definition in our research paper, we should be objective and use facts, not opinions. For the last guideline, we have grade your language, match it to the knowledge level of your readers. So we should know our readers or our audience for our research. The language that we should be using is or should match the knowledge level that our readers have. So example, we should avoid the complex and complicated type of technical definition. We should be simple and clear or direct to the point. For example, the term that is being defined is research. Here is an example of a complex or complicated definition. Research is a systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. So we should avoid this kind of giving definition of a technical term. It should be simple and clear, just like this. Research is collecting of information about a particular subject. So in writing the technical definition in our research paper, we should be simple and clear. And now let's talk about the types of technical definition. The first type is parenthetical definition. This is defining a term by using some familiar synonym in parentheses. So we will use same word meaning to the term that we are to define. Example, the company's recent history is a case study in bad management. So in here, the familiar synonym of case study is report, and it is enclosed in parentheses. So this is how you may use the parenthetical definition in technical definition. Next is the book provides a general framework, open and close parenthesis, outline for understanding modern politics. So in this example, the word that is giving a parenthetical definition is framework. Next, we have sentence definition. Follows a set pattern, more complex terms are used. So if you are to provide a sentence or sentence definition for technical definition, it should be more complex terms. Example, statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with the collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of masses of numerical data. And we also have deductive reasoning is a form of reasoning in which conclusions are formulated about particulars from general or universal. So as you can see in our two example, it provide more complex terms. And if we are going to use the sentence definition, the technical or the term that is being defined should be written in this way, starting with the term or the word that is being defined, followed by its class or classification, and followed by the differentiating characteristics of that term. For example, statistics is the term, then its class is branch of mathematics, since statistic is just one of the lessons that we have in math. So the differentiating characteristics dealing with the collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of masses of numerical data. So this is how you can provide a technical definition of terms in research. Another one, we have deductive reasoning for the term, and its class is form of reasoning. Then the differentiating characteristics in which conclusions are formulated about particulars from general or universal premises. So this is how you'll write a technical definition in research paper. And now we're done with the technical definition. Let's have the second lesson in this topic, the operational definitions. When we say operational definitions, this is an operational definition gives an obvious, precise, and communicable meaning to a concept that is used to ensure comprehensive knowledge of the idea by specifying how the idea is measured and applied within a particular set of circumstances. So, an operational definitions, uh, from its word, it gives an obvious meaning to a concept. Unlike in technical, it is direct, it is avoiding complex, it is straight to the point. While operational definition gives an obvious, precise, and communicable meaning to a concept. So it is used by specifying how the idea is measured and applied within a particular set of circumstances. And of course, just like the technical, we also have types of operational definitions. And for the first type of operational definition, we have the type A. So it can be constructed in terms of the operations performed to cause the phenomenon to occur. Example, fear is a state produced by exposing an individual to an object highest in his or her hierarchy of objects to be avoided. So as you can see here, it gives an obvious and precise meaning, but to the concept, okay? Not directly to the term that is being defined. Example, fear is a state produced by exposing an individual to an object highest in his or her hierarchy of objects to be avoided. So next we have the type B operational definition. So it can be constructed in terms of how the particular object or thing operates. How did this object operates? So that can be a question in order for you to define the technical or operational definition. Another one, keyboard is a set of keys on a piano or similar musical instruments. And for the last type of operational definition is type C, operational definition. Can be constructed in terms of what an object or phenomenon looks like. Examples, introversion is the tendency or characteristic of an individual to prefer to engage in solitary rather than group activities. Next, team teaching is a utilization of two or more teachers to develop lesson plans and teach in one or more subject matter areas to a fixed group of students. So now let's have the technical versus operational, showing the difference between the two definition in writing the research. For technical, Um, it mostly refers to the aspect of explaining or describing any technical terms or terminology. Again, it is by explaining or giving the description of the technical terms. And next is expands vocabulary, because technical definitions could be used in expanding the vocabulary, since most of these terms are explained in the exact manner, and it gives denotative meaning found in dictionary. So that is how the technical definition is. Next is the operational. When we say operational, application of the word or explaining a certain process or properties. If we have the direct definition for technical, we have the indirect definition for operational. Or on the other hand, it is more on the application of the word. For example, these may include the various attempts to define or explain a certain process and its properties, including but not limited to the characteristic of the event itself. So let's have example for each. For the first one, the term is computer. The technical definition in computer is it is a device or machine used in performing, assessing, evaluating, and following commands set by the users. So this kind of definition is factual or based on the term itself. When we say operational definition, it is something used in doing homework or browsing the internet. So you see, when we say operational, it is how does the term is being operated. Next is data. For technical definition, data means information in digital form that can be transmitted or processed. For operational definition, the quantities, characters, or symbols on which operations are performed by a computer, being stored and transmitted in the form of electrical signals and recorded on magnetic, optical, or mechanical recording media. So that's the difference in providing technical definition to operational definition of the term. All right, let's see if you really understand our lesson. So let's have an exercise for the technical and operational definition of terms. So for this exercise, you have to choose the technical definition inside the box. Okay, and your clue is in the parentheses by identifying the similar term or similar technical definition for each word. So for number one, we have the reporter provides a blank skeleton for further research. Number two, their blank theory explains so many facts. Number three, we believe this is the first systematic review to investigate the blank dimension of quality of data in primary care. So what do you think are the answers? And the answers are, for number one, the other term or the technical definition of skeleton is framework. Number two, for theory is hypothesis. And number three, for dimension is measurement. So I hope you got a perfect score. And for the next exercise, you have to label the term, class, and different characteristics of the term theory. So we have an example above. The statement is respondent is a person who replies to something. So the term that is being defined is respondent. And its class or classification is, when we say respondent, this is a person. Then the differentiating characteristic is who replies to something. So let's have this statement. A theory is a set of accepted beliefs or organized principles that explain and guide analysis. What you have to do is identify the term that is being defined, its class or classification, and the differentiating characteristic of the term that is being defined. And the answers are: for term, a theory; for class, is a set of accepted beliefs or organized principles; and for differentiating characteristics that explain and guide analysis. And let's have another one. A person, place, thing, or phenomenon that researchers are trying to measure in some ways or in some way is called variable. So you may now identify the term that is being defined, the class or classification, then the differentiating characteristics of the term that is being defined. And the answers are: for the term, it is variable. So what have you observed from this answer? So there will be time wherein the term that is being defined doesn't always come at the first part of the sentence or the definition. So it can also be from the last part of the sentence. Next is class. This is a person, place, thing, or phenomenon. So the variable can be a person, place, thing, or phenomenon. Then the differentiating characteristics that researchers are trying to measure in some way. So that's how you can identify the term, the class, and differentiating characteristics of an operational or technical terms. And that's how our lesson ends. I hope you have learned new things, especially on how you are going to write the technical definition and interpret the operational definitions.